Based on the four important characteristics of language, I can pick out one specific example of, excluding somebody from a group. Um, if somebody walks up to, a specific group and you purposefully make fun of that person, that is a clear example of excluding that individual. And I think that coincides with the idea that language is ambiguous because while that may just be your sense of humor and the way you connect with other people, that could be translated as you excluding that person or making that first person feel unwelcomed. And I think that, that person that you're specifically making fun of is feeling excluded, even if that wasn't your purpose. So making fun of somebody is an example of ambiguity in language. For Caros, saying something like the right thing at the wrong time. A good example that I always think of is like when you're at a restaurant and the person hands you your food and they say enjoy, and you say, oh, you too. Like, it's a thoughtful gesture, trying to say, like, you're just used to saying something like that, but it's just the wrong time. And I think, like, the reason somebody would say something like that at that time is just, like I said, you're just so used to it. It's just kind of like a response that we're used to. If you're talking back and forth with somebody and you're having a good, like, one-to-one conversation, if you compliment somebody or you tell them, I hope you have a good day or something like that, it's common courtesy. It's part of our language and the way we communicate to say you too and include that person and speak directly to that person. So, for the intersectional identities, I think our group is pretty diverse, I would say. I don't think we all align equally, and I think that's the same for, everybody. I don't think anybody aligns perfectly. I think I could relate just on the basis that, like, I'm a female, and I have a female counterpart in my group, and I think that would, it makes it easier in the breakout room for the two of us to talk. And I think part of my identity, I really try basing, like, the way I express myself through being a female. And I know a lot of people look past that and they don't expect gender to be a main part of who they are. But I think for me, like, when I was growing up, like, I always was one of the guys, like, I was rough and I played sports and when I was bored, I played football during recess, but I used that as, like, I'm a female, but I can do more than you think I can, and growing up, I used that, and that was a very important part of my identity. And I think using your identity to enhance your speech presentations is kind of difficult because identity is sometimes it is the idea of intersectionality is using those as a basis for prejudice. So if you are identifying as something and you are in front of people giving a speech, that may make you more insecure and, have a harder time getting your presentation across because you're having an issue with your own identity. Like, if I were to stand in front of a group of guys right now, it would be hard because I'm a female. That's part of my intersectional identity. And I think it would make me feel not excluded, but it would make me feel like an outcast. And so I think to enhance your speech presentations, it would be like if you're in the right place. So if I were in a group with women, I would be able to connect and I would be able to use, more connection with my audience because I can intersectionally connect with them.